Alright, hello and welcome back to Downstage Gaming. I'm your host, Josh, and this is part 4 of our B-Sides playthrough of The Letter. Now, when we last left off, we've been speeding our way through. We're nearly done with Hannah's chapter here in our B-Sides playthrough. And really, I would say the main difference is that, one, our relationship with Luke is obviously actually kind of going well this time, but also we've just, seen a lot of, sides of their relationship that would certainly paint it in a better light than what we got the first time around. I'm still no fan of Luke and still think they should not be together, but, you know, you got to see some sides of their relationship that we definitely didn't see before. But last time, our last choice that we left off with was we did actually end up looking into the cellar and getting sort of a freak-out nightmare with a quick-time event, and we just, quote-unquote, woke up from that. And so here we are. I wake from a deep slumber. It takes a while with the fog that has settled in my head with my heavy limbs, but soon enough I manage to look around. I'm in our bedroom already, although I do not recall going here. Luke slumbers beside me, looking peaceful and angelic. Never a descriptor I would think to use for Luke. It doesn't matter. I'm safe, and I feel better than ever. Tomorrow, better days will come. And so, here we are, Friday. Luke is already gone by the time I rise, so we've already seen this before. I think this is the day of the party. Yes, okay, so this is... I believe this is the day of the party, and we're having sort of... Last time, what was our advice session with Marianne, where Marianne basically told us that we should leave the relationship, so we'll see what happens this time.
No, what do you think of my hair? It feels so lifeless and dull today, and that's no good for a party.
No, this time it's not even on Hannah's mind. The relationship's perfect. There's no doubts.
And I think I'm breaking out into zits.
Now that you mention it, there is something different.
Wow, rude, Marianne.
There better not be something on my face.
I wouldn't worry about that. You do look a little paler than usual, ma'am. I apologize if I'm crossing any lines here, but have you been resting properly?
Huh. You'd think I get a bit tanned with how sunny it's been lately. Don't you worry. I feel right as rain and never better.
Definitely no ghoul possessing me or doing anything weird or any of that kind of nonsense.
But back to the matter at hand.
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...?
So last time we chose I want you to be honest, right? Yes. Although this is... The context is weird here. It's the... Yeah. Okay, so she still was talking about the, her relationship stuff. She just took this weird side trip. Okay, but this time, I don't know if I want you to be honest, Marianne. I just don't know.
I don't know, Marianne.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea before she speaks.
Perhaps it has been the years, perhaps not. It might just be the little things that have built up all this time. It might be something big. I wouldn't know all the details, but in any case with things like these, I've seen couples take time apart just to cool off.
Oh, wow, so you're still kind of giving me the same advice either way.
Sometimes they get back together in the end with lighter hearts, and sometimes they don't get back together at all, but part on better terms.
Just less direct this time.
Speaking from experience, are we, Miss McCullough?
Rude, Hannah, Jesus. Well, that certainly got a rise out of her as her cheeks turn red. She nearly chokes on her coffee.
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I'm not interested in any fella, even. It's just a thing I've seen happen a few times.
What if I said the couple are very public figures? They wouldn't want to take time apart unless it was really necessary. They wouldn't want people to talk.
Well, that's a load of guff. Not to mention that makes them a bit thick, doesn't it?
Yeah, give it to her, Marianne.
Forget about what other people say. That's their relationship, and they should do what's best for them.
Heck yeah.
And if they point out that you're being a hypocrite and they can also disregard what you say?
Then that's their choice. I'm just saying that a break might do them good. A short time apart is better than someone trying to leg it out of the relationship or one ending up trying to murder the other out of frustration if they're even the slightest bit touched in the head. Because we don't want now, do we?
No, we don't want that. She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. There is a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. I think we've seen this, yep. We can get through this, right? I know that I still do love him, and I feel that there's still a part of him that loves me in return. We just need to get our heads together and talk it out. Surely he'll see some sense. There's a cough before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure on how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down or not. We've all been there.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party?
I believe, yep. We've also seen this. Okay. So, we welcome our guests. Yeah, we see those three. We have an awkward conversation with Lee. We meet Becca. We have a freak out there. We find out that Becca knows us. Luke comes in. We have the Rochelle drama. Alright, and now we've hit something new. Alright. It is now that Johans returns with security along with a concerned-looking Officer Lee. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man. Not that I believe Rochelle. Luke will never. He will never go so far as to sleep with another woman. Right?
I'm so sorry for her behaviour. She's been under a lot of stress. And the alcohol.
Yeah, definitely no truth to anything she said.
Talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a drunk? Of course they're nothing but ramblings of a drunk. She's just jealous. Jealous of this wonderful marriage, this happily ever after that I have with my prince.
Take that troll up out of here immediately!
So interesting that that was italicized. Only because I wonder if that is a result of the relationship that Hannah has this time with Luke and the choices that we've made that have affected that. Or, because I'm pretty sure I recall that sometimes that italicized text, and especially with Luke, was sort of like the ghoul whispering in the ear, sort of their thoughts and opinions. So I wonder if this was really Hannah's, or if this is sort of the persuasions of Takako.
And see to it that she isn't allowed to hear or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxbourne.
To be banned from anything with the right name on it is basically social suicide. We practically own half of Luxbourne. There isn't a single establishment of repute that isn't under our patronage one way or another. This is mercy. I can do so much worse to her. At least this way, she can just move out of the city and never, ever return. I have stayed my hand in the face of her grievous fault, her bold-faced lies, when she deserves so much more. I can take away her business, have her factories shut down. It is too easy to ruin her life until she's just nothing. And it's all so tempting. I can only see red. The tension is thick in the air, and the silence that embraces the room is nearly deafening. They are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests, yet at the same time I can still hear them whispering. But as long as they hold their tongues and don't interfere, none of those matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with a different shine in his eyes. It almost seems as if he's proud of what I've done, and that spurns me on more than anything.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
You heard her. Strike up the band, maestro, and let us dance like fireflies in the night.
Yeah, this is quite different. It takes a bit for... Orchestra, please! It takes a bit for the crowd to stir again in the face of all that. But like most problems of the elite, it is brushed under the rug and forgotten in favor of merriment. He offers his hand to me with a small smirk and a bow.
That was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
Much better than last time. What?
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
Oh, Hannah, I do not like this version of you.
Lady, would you like to dance?
With pleasure, my prince.
No one is going to get in between me and my darling husband. Not Rochelle or any other rich, snooty scrubber. Not some common whore or an ambitious maid. Oh, interesting that you choose ambitious maid. No one is going to get near him in that manner. Not while I'm around. And if I have anything to say about it, no one is going to get near him at all. And so we move on to Saturday. Take a look. Is the picture different this time around? Yes. A happy Luke and Hannah. How dreadful. The day after proved to be a difficult task. My darling prince is a man of many connections, a man of the people. He is always talking to one person or another, and I'm always left alone, unable to stay at his side at all times. It is frustrating, but I have to be understanding. Besides, I don't see why he can't just stay at home. The least I can do is make sure I have his time while he's here, which in and of itself isn't as easy as it sounds. Not with that bloody valet of his tailing him around.
Hans, where's my tie?
Yo, Hans! Where's my pants?
I can't find it anywhere.
Have you looked around your neck? It should be there if it's not on your clothes horse, sir.
It isn't often that I'm awake this early, at least early enough to find my darling preparing for the day with his valet attending to him. It is an old-fashioned way to go about the morning. He's able to dress himself, after all. But he says that it really makes the day easier for him to have someone else do this tedious task, albeit with a grimace. Though if that manservant of his dislikes the duty so much, I'll gladly do it in his stead.
I've got it, my prince. Come here.
Well, someone's up and at them especially early this morning, huh? Here I thought you'd be knackered by all the dancing we did last night at the party, and after that... well...
Yeah, I really don't like any of this. A saucy little wink and a smile is what he offers me as I draw close to fix his tie. And when the valet reaches out with his perfume, I quickly take it and shoo him aside. Yo, Hans, there'll be no more need of you this morning. This close, his scent fills me with the smell of white flowers, cocoa, cardamom, and almonds. It is intoxicating. And the sight of the two of us in the vanity mirror is picturesque and perfect. Can I help it if I feel a bit resentful that another person gets to do this for Luke every morning when I could have done it myself? No, I can't.
You're dismissed, Shroken. I have this. Go on then. You'll be summoned if you're needed.
There's a curious look, furrowed brows, before any sign that he cares is white from his expression.
Very well. If you need me, I'll be somewhere that isn't here.
Somewhere significantly less horny.
You could have let the man do his job.
And I say there's no need for him. I can take care of you just fine, my prince. Just where are you off to this morning anyway?
I hate the thought of him leaving me. It feels like an eternity without him here in this lonely place that doesn't feel like a home quite yet. Although the mansion is really growing on me, slowly but surely. I want to be at his side, yet he fails to see such an obvious thing.
Business. Where else?
Why can't you just work from home? You can afford to, can't you?
Business needs a firm hand and a personal touch, Buttercup.
What will the employees do if I'm not there to yell at them?
Besides, I can't stay cooped up forever in here. I'll go mad.
Yes, this tiny little mansion.
Well, you'll come back home as soon as possible, won't you? It's so awfully lonely here without you, my prince.
I could. I don't see why I should, though. This hasn't been a problem before.
You've never acted this in love with me before.
You know I'll come home when I come home.
Just get home as soon as you can. For me, won't you?
No promises. It's business after all.
God, what a loving
I
guy.
can't just stand up in the middle of the meeting and tell them the wife wants me home.
It would make me look weak, less of a man.
Then forget those peasants.
He stops and stares, looking perturbed for a moment before shaking his head. Is he feeling ill? That's more reason for him to stay here with me, doesn't it? I'm just being a good wife, worrying about my husband and all.
Be good, dear. And stay safe. There's been all sorts of dodgy characters seen about the property. I'll be leaving Johans with you, just in case you need anything, and to be on the safe side, okay?
But I don't need a valet. I need you here with me.
I'll be closing a big deal with a pharmaceutical company soon, if things go according to plan.
But I'm not sexually attracted to Johans.
Maybe, after that, I can take a breather for a bit.
No maybes. You have to promise me.
I only need him.
I'm going to be late, Hannah. The longer this takes, the later I'll get home.
Fine. Shall I see you out?
If that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, you really get the feeling at this point that, like, maybe when we looked into the cellar there, somehow we got possessed by Takako. At the front door, his valet waits, ready to accompany him for the rest of the day when he's told to stay and attend to me. I still don't like it. It looks like he doesn't either. But I ignore him in favor of the one who really matters. I hold Luke's hand in mine and give him a deep kiss. It makes my heart flutter as I see the way his eyes close during our moment of passion. Parting for air, I can only smile.
Have a good day, my prince.
Right. Off I go.
Oh, Luke, it's easy to see how great you are with the ladies. I still don't want him to leave. He should just stay. Forever.
If you could let go of my hand, please, Hannah.
It's just so hard to let go when I finally have him in my grasp. To watch him enter his car and leave pains me so. It leaves behind an aching, gaping hole like a hunger and a need. I'm not content until he returns.
If it fits you, breakfast is ready in the parlor, madam.
If anything, I'll be in a foul mood until he returns.
Leave and go practice your bloody sodomy elsewhere.
Jesus.
Peculiar.
Yeah, Johans, you think maybe something's going on here? When I turn around to hiss at him to leave, he's already gone, and that suits me just fine. I want to be alone, without anyone bothering me. I want to be alone with myself and my thoughts, with only these halls as company. These damned halls which will hold our memories, just he and I. There is no one else I need but my prince. Not some cheeky servant who's just living it up because he's Luke's right-hand man. You're so jealous, Hannah. Rubbish like him deserve nothing. He deserves to be thrown and locked in the attic. Without realizing it, my feet have brought me in here. This empty, lifeless room disgusts me. The longer I stare at it, the harder it gets to breathe, as if the walls are moving in on me. Yet at the same time, it pulls me in. I hear a whispering, and curiosity gets the better of me as I look under the bed. There, on the far corner, a loose floorboard. The wood, despite having swelled and warped over the years, is strangely familiar, comforting in its feel. Though it's not merely what my hand searches for as I reach for it. It takes quite an effort, but soon I'm able to lift it. And inside, underneath the dust and cobwebs, lies a pendant, warm and familiar. Interesting. And I swear, if I just close my eyes, I can feel it beating in my palm. I feel a thrill, though I also feel like a thief for taking this. But it's mine. So without delay, I hide in our room. In front of the vanity, I see the way my eyes shine as I remove the clasp of my old necklace and put on this new one. It fits a lot better than the old one. I can feel it as it weighs on my chest.
Right where it belongs.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. So we didn't really get a choice there at the end. I'm curious what that, take a look at the branching tree here. Yeah, so that probably has something to do with the relationship. Maybe because we had a positive relationship with Luke? I don't know. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I also think that has to do with us opening the hatch. All right, well, what time is it? Yeah, we'll cut it off here for now, and we'll join our pal Zachary next time. I think this is really gonna be like where we start to see some pretty big divergence. Because, like, yeah, this is the first chapter where we have, like, whole bits that we just absolutely have not seen. And, like, you know, obviously a big part of Zachary's chapter, especially early on here, was with Isabella. And, you know, you get the feeling that's going to be very different here. So we'll see where things go and how things shake out. But we'll see that next time. Until then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I've been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.